This project will take off in no time. We're just gonna sell it through our social channels. How many times have we heard that? And then, yet in reality, what do we find? Don't bring me any hockey stick forecast. How many times have we heard that from investors and business angels? Talking about exponential growth and viral adoption is one thing. Putting it on a PowerPoint chart and creating expectation is another thing. But then actually making it happen in the real world is quite a challenge. In fact, we find that in most business today, there's some form of, let's say, expectation of a very rapid growth. We live in an exponential world, as we sometimes read in the newspapers. And 9 out of 10 businesses are actually struggling to put this growth together. We were interested in this fact and tried to figure out why is that the case, why is it so difficult? And we conducted a very small game survey exercise to figure out how people estimate the exponential growth. What we found was very interesting. About 90% of the participants were struggling to estimate the short-term growth and overestimating it by a factor. Also interesting was the belief in terms of the sales volume that would come out of a potential customer base. And here we found that it was estimated way too late and overly optimistic. So people believed that there would be much more sales coming over time out of a given market. Now, in the real world, this can create a big problem, because when you're running out of customers or out of money before your new products are ready, then you're already in big trouble. Now, understanding exponential growth and viral adoption is not that easy. And this is what this program is all about. So we put together a new format, which I like to call a living book. Living book because it lives from the content and feedback and the examples. And it is also a constant work in progress. So we're adding new concepts and new ideas to the online course. We put together a new format which contains an environment where you can take a look at concepts in the form of, let's say, short presentations or video lectures. There are quizzes where you can assess your, let's say, level of learning and understanding. But there's also a discussion forum, and most importantly, there are simulations, so that we walk through the video lectures, but there's also an online simulation tool that you can use to play around and figure out how your assumptions play out in the real world. And you may actually want to use that for brainstorming different scenarios for your project, your initiative, or your company. Part 1 is all about awareness and the basics and the foundation. So there we will come out with a new mindset of, let's say, the shape of growth for a very simple business. In part 2, we're going to make it even more interesting, because we're adding to the things that we learned in part 1, new concepts such as market growth, churn, and renewal of a customer base. And part 3 is all about the numbers. So here we look at things like recurring revenue, the revenue per user, customer acquisition cost, and the lifetime value of a customer. And I'm also going to explain a little bit more in detail a different perspective in looking at projects from a system dynamics perspective, in order to find out if a project has a potential to go off and go viral or not. And this may be helpful for you in order to improve the campaigns, the projects, or the business plans that you do, and come forward with more realistic and feasible plan, because a feasible plan that is carried out creates much more confidence and trust in the stakeholder community, for example, between an entrepreneur and the investors. So I hope you find this interesting. I look forward to your feedback and your ideas. And most importantly, I wish you good luck in shaping the growth in whatever you do, your project, your business, or realizing your dream and making an impact to the people that you serve. Good luck.